Meet Brittney. She's a G3P2 who had an uneventful pregnancy. At 40 plus 4 weeks gestation, she went into spontaneous labour. She progressed to 7 centimetres dilated, however continued at the same dilation for several hours. After slow progress, signs of fetal distress were beginning to show, with the baby having complicated variable decelerations that were slow to return to baseline. Following a clinical review by the doctors, the option of an emergency caesarean section was mutually agreed upon between the woman and the obstetrics team. Today, Brittney and baby are day 4 post lower segment caesarean section and are both doing well. The doctors have already debriefed following the caesarean and have discussed post-operative care. The midwife Zali works within a team midwifery maternity ward and has come into the room to give Brittney her discharge papers. Hey Brittney, how are you?
I'm good.
I've got your discharge papers for you. Do you have any final questions before you head home?
No, I think I'm okay.
I know that the doctors came to see you to kind of talk about the caesarean section. Do you have any questions about that?
No, it's fine. They kept saying the surgery went well and that as long as mum and baby are okay, so I guess that's good.
Yeah, it's really great that the surgery went well and your physical health is so important, but it's also really good to think about how you're feeling emotionally. I had a look through your history and I know that you've had 2 normal vaginal births, so having a Caesar must have been really difficult.
Yeah, I'm honestly disappointed in myself, and the doctors kept saying to each other, cesarean for failure to progress, and I tried everything that I could and I did everything I could. I just don't understand why it ended up that way.
So sorry you feel that way. I think you should know that this situation is completely out of your control and was unpredictable. You did everything you could for this baby. Your body did everything it could. This baby was meant to come out this way.
Then why did they keep saying failure to progress?
I'm sorry that the doctors use that term. It's a really outdated term that they created a long time ago, and doctors shouldn't use it, but they continue to pass it down to their students, and it's simply not acceptable. Basically, what they're trying to say is that your baby was slowly progressing through labour, which led to you and baby becoming tired and having to have the Caesar for that reason.
What could have caused that?
There are many reasons, and sometimes we simply don't even know the reason until the baby is born. Sometimes it's because Bubba's too large, their head's too big, their head's not being applied to the cervix. Yeah. Sometimes it's just a positional thing as well.
My other babies came out fine though.
Yeah, that's true. However, every labour and every baby is different. It was showing that your baby was becoming quite tired, so the doctors thought it was best to perform a caesarean section because they didn't want baby to get further distressed.
That makes more sense now. I understand why I needed a caesarean and I wish the midwife explained it more.
Yeah.
But I just feel so disappointed, and especially now I just feel like a first-time mum again. I have to learn to breastfeed again. I have to learn to walk again, and even getting dressed is hard. And my boyfriend's supposed to go back to work and I just don't know how I'm supposed to cope.
Yeah, it's completely understandable. It's such a difficult transition from having major abdominal surgery and then having to actually raise this baby and care for the baby. It's so important to take care of yourself physically, but also mentally. What would you say is important to you to kind of keep things normal and transition into this?
Probably breastfeeding. I did it with all my other children.
Yeah, that's great. Breastfeeding can be so amazing for bonding as well as healing mentally and physically. There's sometimes a delay in the breast milk due to the spinal that they put into your back. But just trust your body, know that there is milk there, and just persevere because breastfeeding would definitely put you in the right track.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, I would also recommend a lot of skin to skin to boost that natural love hormone, and that will help you bond baby as well as establish that breastfeeding a bit more. We also recommend side lying because holding baby cross cradle can sometimes put pressure on your stomach, which we can show you how to do later as well. Also hand expressing, sometimes just that's extra stimulation can help bring in that milk. Also, the Australian Breastfeeding Association as well as Global Health Media have great resources on all different positions that you can try for mums that have had a Caesar.
Yeah, I'll check those out.
Yeah, it's also important that you check in your emotions. It's completely normal, whether you had a caesarean section or a vaginal delivery, to have days where you're quite upset and distressed. But when you are feeling a bit down, try and do things that make you feel good. Going for a walk, watching a movie, eating something that you really like. However, if you are feeling quite upset, distressed and overwhelmed for more than a few days, these feelings are lasting weeks, really important to check in with yourself, talk to your husband, go to your GP, never put your mental health on the back burner.
Yeah. Who else can I seek help from other than you guys?
There are a lot of online resources, over the phone services, as well as counselling services. I personally really love Ready to Cope and Panda. They have a lot of timely online resources that outline really good coping mechanisms, as well as where you can seek further help. Panda also have a hotline, so whenever you're feeling a bit down and you want someone to talk to, you can ring them up, and they have one-to-one counselling that can kind of point you in the right direction. I've given you heaps of resources today, and I know it can be quite overwhelming this time to remember things. On your baby's blue book, on the last page, there's all the resources we've spoken about, have it outlined there, and all the numbers that you can ring.
Okay, thank you so much for that. My husband's just outside, so I'll probably get ready to leave now.
No worries, good luck.